Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice for radio. So today, I am bringing you some exciting news, some PTCGRadio news. We have confirmation of the dates and locations of the US International Championship and the World Championships. Starting off with the US International Championships, we can now confirm that it is happening in Indianapolis, Indiana, from June the 30th to July the 2nd. Now, we know this year Pokemon got rid of the national championships and replaced them with these international championships. This is the North American International Championship, the only one that's happening this year, but it is basically in the same location at the same time as US Nationals would have been. Although one very, very key point, this is open to everyone. Americans, Canadians, European, Japanese, anybody can come over and play here. Now, I did have a quick look at Indianapolis to see what you can do if you go over there as well as playing Pokemon. It is home to the NFL team, the Indianapolis Colts, and the NBA team, the Indiana Pacers. And it seems to have an awful lot of museums. The Museum of Art, the Motor Speedway Museum, the Etel-Yorg Museum, which I'm almost certainly pronouncing wrong, and the Children's Museum. So if you want to learn stuff, go ahead, make it over there. This sounds like fun. You know what else sounds like fun? The World Championships. Now, we knew that these were happening in Anaheim, California, just outside of LA, but now we have confirmation that they will be happening between the 18th and 20th of August. Now, one very important point here, and I did predict this on the latest episode of my podcast, PTCG Radio. Check it out on iTunes. This means that it is the very first day on which the latest Pokemon trading card game set will be legal. Evolutions came out on the 2nd of November, which is the first week in November. Sun and Moon came out on the 3rd of February, which was the first week in February, which means that Guardians Rising is going to be coming out in the first week in May, either Wednesday the 3rd or Friday the 5th, which means that our next set, which we don't know what it's called, is going to be coming out on Wednesday the 2nd or Friday the 4th of August. Probably Friday, because that's what they've been doing with release dates lately. Now, the rule is that the 3rd Friday after release, these cards will be legal for tournament play, which means that whatever that set is called, it will be legal for the very first time for tournament play on the 18th of August, which, would you believe it, happens to be the Friday of Worlds. Although this did happen with Steam Siege last year, it was released at the beginning of August, and the very first day it was legal for tournament play was the Friday of Worlds. And I love this because it means new decks, new strategies, new techs are all going to be on display at Worlds. It makes it a lot more fun. Now, we don't know very much about our August set, but we do know it's going to be the equivalent of the Japanese sets. The booster packs of the Japanese set looks like this, and they are called Did You See the Fighting Rainbow? Yes, there is a question mark in the set name. And Light Consuming Darkness. For those that don't know, Japan generally has two separate sets released at the same time, which are amalgamated into one set when it's released in Europe, US, etc. So we know we're getting Ho-Oh and the Crozma. We don't know very much else about the set, but it's still exciting that for the second year in a row, we are going to have a brand new set which will be legal on the first day of Worlds. The other really interesting announcement we got today concerning Worlds is that Pokmon Tournament is coming back. Now, you'll notice last year there were qualifiers at DreamHack, there were qualifiers at a bunch of regionals, and then there was the World Championship. Well, this year, there was no qualifier at DreamHack Winter, there are no qualifiers that have been happening at the International Championships, and everybody assumed that Pokmon Tournament was gone. Well, it's back at the World Championships. There is a last chance qualifier on the Friday to get yourself into the tournament, and then people will be competing for a share of the $20,000 prize. Although, that is a lot lower than trading card game and video game prizes. But still, it's nice to see it back and having a last chance qualifier. Although, to be clear, if you want to compete for the trading card game or video game, you will have to earn an invite by playing at tournaments throughout the year and amassing 500 championship points. Now, if you're going to Anaheim and want some things to do outside of the Pokemon tournaments, you have the Anaheim Ducks, although it is depressingly out of hockey season. You've got the LA Angels baseball team. And then you've got Disney in Anaheim. And just outside, you've got Knott's Berry Farm. So theme parks, sports, Pokemon. What more could you need? I am excited for the World Championships. I should be there this year. And you should be too. Now, you know the deal, ladies and gentlemen. There is a comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. There are buttons to both like this video and subscribe to this channel. I would be delighted if you'd use them both. You can follow me on Twitter @TheWassy. And the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.